live now. Now. Yes. Okay. Ship stuff, doing lots of ship stuff. I wonder if people enjoy watching Stormworks content, even seeing it live streamed. It's an interesting thought. So linear. Activating nuclear reactor. Retract the nets. This is what I imagine Star Citizen Multicrew would be like with engineering. Shipping indeed. We are going to sail on the 7 seas, or the one single digital sea. This is a fishing boat. I built it. I declare it's a fishing boat. Give it some slack. These waters are dangerous. You have to have some sort of defense on the ship. Get the bridge all set up. Retract the pods. One second, I need to adjust something. There we go. In this game, you essentially build search and rescue vehicles and go out and rescue people who are dying out in the ocean. Like, here. Someone is in trouble. This guy needs to be sent to this oil rig out here. And then there's someone on fire over there. And essentially the goal is go out and rescue people. And you build your own boats and vehicles to do it. I don't know why people don't like me showing off my constructs. I don't see the problem here. Everything is working as intended. Like here, this ship I built from the ground up, and essentially it's a boat built around a reactor, essentially. This is the reactor chamber. The coolant goes through this boiling system, which the steam goes into these pistons. And then all that steam goes back here and goes down into the deck below. It gets condensed back into water and then gets sent all the way back up. It is literally a floating nuclear reactor. People have built much smaller, more powerful, and more efficient systems than this, but it's mine constructs are the result of you stick enough monkeys in a room with typewriters, they'll eventually write Mozart. The magical number is 4. Come to life, machine spirit. Heed my will. Awaken. Compared to my other constructs, yes, this is Mozart. Yes. Yes. Okay, no, it's supposed to do that, so it's all working fine. This ship takes a bit for you before you can get it going. All of that work down there just results in only 12 meters a second. It's a whopping speed. The ship has a top speed of 12 meters a second. It's as good as I could get it. I don't know how to do the fancy, what's it called, gearbox ratio stuff. Turn the weather back on. And there she is. This is the ship. This is my fishing boat. The goal of this stream, and the goal of me playing this game, is essentially I am in the process of refining this construct, trying to get it better, functional, to where I like it. That means the guns have to work properly, which I tested the other day. They are working fine. Fishing features have to work, which they do, and added some new additions. The ship is on a straight line forward, so I added machine guns to the side to help catch the fish. Wink, wink. This gun is shooting its own bullet casings. Alright, it works. These would traverse faster, but this ship kind of likes to slow the game down because this game is weird that way. But it works. And then down here is a whole bunch of ammunition. Yes, I love it when things come together. Well, we're not going out to kill the wildlife. These guns are merely here to protect us from the wildlife. Wink, wink. This is the logic room where all the logic nodes go. plenty of room for future expansion. Supply shed with a little armory with its own little firing range. I'm pretty sure it's safe to fire a live firearm in here against hardened steel with no angle. It's fine. It's all fine. OSHA compliant. Through and through. This is the fisher control room. You got cranes to pick up the crab pots. There's one thing I like. It's features. I love features. And I try to put as many features as I could on this boat. I wish I could change the tone of the foghorn. I want the kind that is really deep and loud, like those on the big cargo ships. This is too high tone for me. Sounds weak. I wish this thing could go faster, but it's giving it all she's got, Captain. She can't go any faster. The engine's already going maximum power. By the way, this thing has a lot of power in these engines. Check these dials, make sure everything's all hunky-dory. These mid-boilers are always at a higher ratio than the others, and I don't know why. It's all symmetrical and even as I could do. This is a very OSHA-compliant engine. You don't need to report them. You don't need to report it to OSHA. Look, see, you got pipes, important pipes that you can grab onto for support, I guess. Making sure it's all accessible. Squeeze through, yes, yes. Okay, that's as good as it's gonna get. Why is it blocking me? I was able to squeeze through just fine earlier. There we go. Alright, so that's something I'll need to address later when I get the chance. It's not entirely accessible, and that is a problem. I don't like not being able to fix bits in my ship. It's a very smooth transit, though. Look at that. Perfect for open water, I guess. Alright, now let's see how this thing does on a hard to starboard turn. Hard to port. She turns nice. Deja vu. So let's see where we're at in the map. So I can lay in a course. Let's go here. Let's go this way. Hard to starboard. Here's a nifty trick to learn port to starboard. Port is only a 4-letter word. The same amount of letters as left. Here, since it's calm, since the water's calm, let's use the net. There aren't any floats on the net, and the net solely relies on the drag of said net to function properly. Now that the net has finished expanding, it's going to start to descend. I don't know what the ideal depth of dragging these nets is. I'll just keep it at 156. Of rope length. Don't worry about that room. That room is not important, I guess. This is the operational deck. Yeah, fishing nets. Recharge the batteries. If you angle it just right in the water, it'll give you a clear view of what's in the water. I need to recolor these. Momentum is weird in this game. Just physics in general is weird. Physics in general are weird. Pipes, pumps, all that needed schnaz. We got a clear window in the engine room. This is the cargo thingy. This is where you stick all the fish and crabs and stuff. And conveyors take them to these hoppers. Hang on, that's not supposed to be rotated. There. Restart it and then plug it back. Unplug it, then plug it back in, as they say. We got the net dragon. Dragging away. So based on just pure observation, how would you fare this ship? If any of y'all have opinions. I like how it turned out. The bridge could have better visibility, honestly.
Alright, so we ran the net a little bit. Let's retract and see what we got. But before we retract the net, we will have to open the cargo hatch. Oh, now it works. What better time to cast and empty the net when it's clear skies and calm waters? Now that I said something, it's gonna immediately start to uproar and become extremely turbulent. That's a retracting net. It's a nice ship, but there are better. Oh, we have time to check the net enough. But look at that, we got a nice haul. Look at that catch. But I do have to make a quick course correction.
This is a fishing ship. Dual purpose. You got a crab. It could do crabbing and trawling.
I wish the nets had a greater range so you could get it deeper in the water, but it's as good as it's gonna get. Course correction, there we go. And now let's go back down 2 decks to get back to the nets and empty into the cargo bay. Okay, where's the trim? Oh. It's as small as the net can get. There we go, I guess start releasing the fish. Okay, it's working. Working as intended. And then let's go watch it do its thing. Faster! Faster! Actually, no, it's better off for us to just stand by to retract the net fully. And it does it one little fish at a time. Because that's how the game is. Alright, I think that's all the fish. Raise the net out. There we go. And just in time, the weather's starting to change, and we are in shallow waters as well. This is why it's good to have deck hands at the ready to operate the stuff on the work deck. There we go. Now let's check to see if all the fish made it in or kind of clipped out through the back of the wall panel. I don't see fish so far. No fish. Yes, all the fish have made it into the hoppers. Yeah. Now that is what I call a successful test. I love this ship, man. It's so good. Mess hall. I should have put like a button switch to turn these on. Shower, bathroom, bathroom, shower. Crew quarters. I should put some chairs and maybe a table. They got bunk buggies, cubbies. This is kind of cozy, right? I guess. Infirmary. I should like a little table here. But important stuff first. Ship must work before we start adding decorations and fiddly bits. XO and Captain's Quarters. I should really change that to a different thingy. Unfortunately, the gunner has to go through the XO and Captain's executive suites to get to the front gun. To operate the main gun. Fire! I did a pretty decent job with this turret setup. Also, the cool thing, the magazine is self-loading. It's cool. Features, gotta love features. Let's get to the bridge. Alright, now let's see which port can I go to. Fish market itself is here. Hard to starboard, hard to board. There's nothing like building in this game. The building in this game is really nice. The physics is jank, but if you could get around the jankiness and unreliability... Oh, okay. Yeah, that was bound to happen. It's this damn nets. There has to be a way to prevent that. But you know, good on the ship. She's still chugging as if nothing happened. Power line has not been damaged. Yeah, see, this is the problem, is that it's the collision physics are so wonky. But I have adjustments to make. Ba 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 ba. Here's a demonstration of how it works when you build in Stormworks. Behold, the beast that is the fishing ship. Alright, so... Yeah, I can't move the ammo anywhere else. Because when the collision happens here, yeah, it acts as like it's a sphere of damage, which damages the rear gun, which then transfers to the damage of the ammo cache in the back, making it a ticking time bomb. And what causes that damage in the first place is these dang bits here, because they collide with this, and it causes, I don't know, the physics is jank. But it's not a problem if you don't drive the ship like a madman and carelessly, which I was. So when the ship takes that damage and you lose the net, then that's on the whoever's driving the thing. What are they called? Operational parameters. If you go beyond those parameters, it becomes user error, I guess. It's funny, very funny. All right, so one thing I wanted to do really quick is in the exo quarters, change out the stinky, not so great spigot for much better looking spigot. Oh, here. Much better. I kind of... You know what? Oh. There. Do that. And then... It's all decorative, but it's the fun kind. It's the fun decorative. Oh, what does this look like? Oh, look at that. It's a littler one. Oh, how neat. I don't know, what, the big fat one or the little one? You know, it's the same as the one down below, so it's going to be the same as the one up here. There. Ooh, ooh. Okay, there we go. A little shelf for soap and stuff. And then in the infirmary, I wanted to do like some sort of like desk thing.
Alright, now let's find some bits to fit in these little slots. Decorating in this game is pretty fun. And I'm glad I reached to the point at this ship's construct, lifespan, whatever, to where I could actually do some of this stuff. Flare, vision rod, spear gun, projector. That could be medical supplies, I guess. C4 explosive is definitely not medical supplies. Defib. There we go. Nah. Maybe it's too high. I'll bring it down a level. Oh, that's perfect. There we go. Now let's see, what kind of chairs? Chairs and stuff. Chairs are important, aren't they? Here, this could go in the infirmary in the center. Operational table. Actually, it'll be better with this one. These lights are going to be unpowered. No purpose to the lights, just pure... we should bring it back a little bit. Pure decoration. It's okay to add decoration stuff. If anything, they could just scooch the stretcher back and forth. And let's see. Oh yes, the engineering bay. This needs addressing. I can rotate these. These little pressure sensors are pretty important to telling the operator what's going on with the reactor. There. It's as good as it has to get. Let's see what this table looks like. Then how's this table? 2 blocks up. Yeah. Oi, lads, oi. Alright, what's the deal? Yes, I'm still watching. It's a wee little table, but you know what? It's okay. And here, we'll do a TV screen. And you keypad. There it is. Speaker, speaker, speaker. Where's the speaker? Speaker. I can't see. There. Little TV system that does nothing. Oops. Hmm. Outfit inventory. Oh, spacesuit. Space exploration. Space. What's the difference between the two? Oi, 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 I don't know. Oi, oi, oi. Stretch. I guess that's good, I guess. Ah. See, I don't know if the radio is just purely decorative or not. I don't think there's going to be enough tires for this ship. Big tire. What if... It's a silly idea. Good, the tire's not obstructing anything. I mean, it's still probably going to cause the same issues, but... Let's see where it goes. I love figuring out systems and making them work. That's one thing I love about this game. You can make a whole functioning radar system, even an auto-targeting system for your weapons. I don't have that kind of capacity to do those kinds of things, but people are able to do it, and it's really cool. Like, as much as I could criticize and be hard on the developers, they have ultimately made a pretty decent game. When I'm critical on a game, and it sounds like I'm talking smack a lot, it's probably because I really like the game and that they are doing a good job, just could do better. Which is okay. Alright, now let's see how this goes. See, usually I would spawn the ship at the island and set off from there, but the game basically plays like the Matrix film in that it's extremely slow and agonizing to play because it's just how slow the game is going. It's like someone cranked up the slow-mo to like 5 times. Like watching these doors actually looks like a slideshow, like dit. So I found spawning it out here is much better. So here, I'm gonna give a quick crash course on this ship really quick and how to operate it. It's extremely simple and easy. And completely unintentional. Just a happy accident. So to activate the reactor, you just move the cores in place like that by giving power to this. Also, if you want to eject the cores, you got a button here and you can pull it out if you're in like an emergency or something. You need to deactivate the reactor for whatever reason. It's cool. I like that. I love features. But we're activating the reactor, so we insert the rods and that will activate the rods. Now you could pretty much go about however you like, but usually what I would prefer, well, what I usually do was I wait until all the rods reached a certain temperature and it started boiling. Like as soon as these dials, the water levels in the boilers started to tick down, that means they're being converted to steam. I would then activate all this stuff here, but I'm just going to do it ahead of time because it doesn't matter if you do it now or later. So this switch activates the pumps, gets everything flowing in the system. This button opens the valves to the rest of the steam system, to the pistons. This system is a variable valve. Maximizing outward flow will maximize steam power to the pistons. You can control it. You don't need it, it's redundant, but it's there. Fine tuning, I guess, if you want. And these two levers control the two clutches at the end of this room, which go out straight to the propeller. Now, the reason why there are two clutches and not just one is because we are converting a single bit into a modular engine system, which I'm using flywheels. Don't need them with this, but I want them because I like the idea of having these on. So essentially, clutch 1 is to the flywheel, and then clutch 2 is back out to the propeller, and then here is just a generator that's acting as a parasitic power draw of the outward power, and essentially it's powering the system, powering the batteries down below. But yeah, that's how you run the system. The way I explained it sounds complicated, but it's simple as lever up, switch on, push button, lever up, and then these levers up. And that is all you need to do, because it's going to start heating up, and once it gets to a certain temperature, you just input a number on the keypad and it's perfect. And now while the reactor's going up, the second step to operating the ship is to retract the net. Because I was not happy with how small the nets are when you initially build them, so I built the net for this ship as big as you can before you can't make it any bigger. So that requires you to retract the net further. So yeah, so you got 2-axis net system. You got the rod and then the rail. So rod and rail. Right now we're just going to extend the net outward because it's a little bit underneath the boat. So dragging the net out into the water. And then we can press 4, a keybind 4, to shrink the net, or to wind it up, I guess, whatever you want to put it. And then we bring it back in, and then you retract the net. Why is it gravitating? That's whatever. Maybe I should just get rid of these tires or shrink them down a size. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Retract the pods! I love that show, Battlestar Galactica. It's so good. I would love to have a little watch together stream where I'm playing video games and then I got the show going in the background and it's all like a nice hangout time. That would be great. However, what's it called? I forgot whoever owns the rights to the show, but when it comes to watching shows on streams and stuff, like these people, studios and stuff like that, they don't like it. Just like how they don't like it when you play their music on your stream, even though you're actively like doing something else to basically dilute and customize the audio, I guess. Alright, so let's see how this goes. We're going to do these little bits. I love games that bring out the creativity of the individual. Like, this game is so great. There. This is a commercial fishing boat. As I said at the beginning of the stream, I built it. I dictate that it is a commercial fishing boat. For civilian use, no less. So what if you have a gun that would be usually mounted on a tank on the bow of the thing? Like, it's not like it's covered in these guns. Kinda. It has a mix. It's fine. It's fine. You use it against the sea monsters. Like, fishermen have to defend themselves against sea monsters. It's crazy within reason. Reasonable crazy. Now we test it, bring it out. Huzzah. See, what I want, because the main flaw when it comes to operating this ship is not the speed, but the maneuverability. It's not even the maneuverability, it's the consequence of the maneuverability. As you've seen before or earlier, when I was doing a hard to port side turn, something exploded in the back, and essentially what happened was the net modules that are basically connected to the winches that extend and retract the net from and away from the ship, essentially. The net modules collide with the ship's frame, and specifically it collides with and clips into the winches, and they're massive. And because of that, it damages the winches, and the damage, because it's weird in this game, is radiated. Like, it's like radial damage dispersion. It's like in a sphere, kind of. And essentially, when the damage occurs, it stems to surrounding objects, even though in reality, it would not be damaged by that collision or whatever. Because when it comes to collisions within geometries of this game, it gets very violent. Like, turrets can turn into each other and cause, like, the Kraken levels of crazy, and it's not good. It's very bad. And honestly, I believe it's like a technical limitation with the engine or something. I don't think the devs can help it. It's just a facet of reality of this game that we all just have to accept until they can figure out how to deal with it, which is okay. Game design and engine engineering, whatever, technical engineering is complicated. I can't even write a Lua script in this game, so.
Used to love that game back in the day. Yeah. No one says interesting physics yet.
Oh yeah, don't mind the boat size. It's a fishing boat. Wink, wink. Commercial fishing boat. Wonk, wink. Alright, the nets get kind of funky. But yeah, the game's great. Like, I have criticisms, a lot of criticisms, but no, I'm just talking to myself and whatnot, because usually no one watches these streams half the time, so figure just had the interactions and whatnot. There we go. Now I must go check the reactor. But yeah, I just tend to talk to myself a lot in these streams because, you know, how it goes. But yeah, so with this, it is a problem when it comes to the collision. I cannot fix it. Unless I overhaul the net system, which I kind of don't want to do. It's a lot of work, and I'm lazy. Alright, so it's still doing its thing. But yeah, I love this game. Like, again, when I complain about this game, it's not because I hate the game or anything or whatever, or hate the devs, or not like them, or unhappy. It's because I like the game. And the way it goes, you complain the most when it comes to things you like. Because if you didn't care, you wouldn't really care to say anything in the first place. Or at least that's how reasonable people do it. Just opening all the doors, getting everything ready for departure. This is one of my most favorite ships to work on because it's the situation of things, pieces just happen to fall into the right places to where it makes the ship nice. Had to quit because of my builds because of the bugs. Yeah, I took a hiatus one time because, like a long hiatus, actually, because the fishing nets broke. Because they were weird. They were not interacting with the water whatsoever, and they would just lay flat in the water with no sort of interaction. And it's funny, because when I complained about it to some other people who play Stormworks, who also build stuff and whatnot, they were telling me, oh, no, you're just complaining because that's how nets are supposed to work, and this and that. Like, you're not being serious right now, right? Like, if you drag a net through water, it will catch the water and drag. That's how physics works in the real world. And that's how it worked in the game for the longest time when we first got the nets. I'm not the one going crazy. Also, here's a fun and awesome happy accident that became of this reactor. This reactor is stable, or self-stable, or however you want to describe it. Essentially, once it reaches a certain temperature, and I put the control rod's numerical input to 4, basically 0.04 insertion, once that number is in, you don't have to touch the reactor at all. Like, once the reactor is going, the pistons are moving and whatnot, and it's over 200 something heat units, just put the input for the control rods to 4.04, and you are golden. You don't have to touch the reactor at all. No babysitting, no nothing. How's the space DLC? I have no idea how to mess with the space DLC if I'm being honest. I did get it. I bought it because why not? But I have no idea how to get up into space and do all that fancy snazz. I've been too focused on boats and airplanes and stuff to touch that kind of monster yet. But I mean, we have pressure systems now. Gas is pressurized, and also, if you do revisit the game, you'll probably have to fiddle with your engine systems and whatnot, because now, if you don't have a pressure release valve on your fuel lines, gas tanks, when fuel is being pulled out of the fuel tank, will create pressure, like vacuum, in the tank, which will eventually act as a bottleneck and seize up fuel flow for your engine, causing it to die. Which is cool, but also inconvenient, because I like not having to worry about vacuums being pulled in my fuel tanks and not needing these pressure release valves added to the fuel lines. But I mean, that's the way it is. But yes, I am testing and fiddling about with this cruise ship, this fishing boat that I built. Yeah, the game is pretty realistic in some aspects, and I do like that. But when it comes to games and the desire for realism, I say you have to strike a balance between arcadey gaminess to realism. Too much arcadey and gaminess takes away the realism, which people want realism, I understand. But at the same time, if a game gets too realistic, it's not fun. It gets unfun. And compromises have to be made. But I think they're doing a pretty decent job so far. I mean, like, what I've been mostly just fiddling about with this boat for the longest time, and I haven't had any sort of issues with the changes that they've been putting in lately. So I guess it's good. I guess. Like they did add keels. I will have one complaint about one of the new things they added. They added sail power now. We have sails that actually work like sails. And you could extend and retract them. They work like the fishing nets, but instead of catching on the water, they catch on the air. It's pretty nice. But one thing that they touched was how boats function in stability-wise in the water, because they added keels that add stability to your ships. The keels are so weird. Like, okay, so here's a comparison before and after the patch, because I've been frequently working on this ship. This ship is pretty unstable when you do hard turns, but because I've been working on this ship so much, I could tell the difference before and after they added the keels and the sails and stuff. After that update release, this ship became more unstable in the water without keels than it was before the patch. So I was essentially forced to add the keels. But at the same time, I can't complain because adding these keels, these are the keels, these little pontoon things on the bottom. It did add stability to the ship's maneuverability, and it's not as unstable as it used to be anymore. And I guess it's a good thing because the ship does not like extremely hard turns, because these net nodes will collide with the ship and cause big problems, and you'll lose the net. But it's like a situation of, I don't like that they touched it, but they did add something that is a quality of life, and that is the keels. Even though this ship is incredibly heavy, and when I added the keels onto my boat and was trying to take off one time out of the dry dock on the creative island, it got stuck because the ship is so insanely heavy. I'm crushing a can, do not mind noise. There we go. But yeah, you probably don't know, but we have sails now. I made a sailboat, and it is very janky. It brings out the worst of the physics engine in this game. But it is there, it is a thing, and it's goofy, but it works. Some people have made some pretty awesome constructs on the workshop. It's always fun to look on the workshop to see what people have made. Like, people have already been making pirate ships and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. Man, these bat guns are janky. But the ship is functioning ideally. Now I need to go and test the engine room stuff. Because one of the things I always try to strive for a lot when it comes to my constructs is accessibility to parts that would get damaged. Like, if there's a pump system, I want to make sure that pump system is reachable, so that if it gets broken and oops, oh no, it's a loose block, where'd that come from? I'll deal with that later. Oh yes, I want to make sure I could access the damaged area so that the system can be restored. Don't mind the OSHA compliant piston reaction room place thingy. It is completely OSHA compliant. Wink. Slips you $10 to keep quiet. Alright, so essentially you're supposed to be able to do this and be able to get out. Okay, come on now. I was able to get back there earlier. Okay, so it is achievable. Just gotta walk on these lines. Alright. Alright, I am content with that. It's gonna suck whoever's been put in charge of fixing that little nook or whatever. I could just imagine someone getting stuck in there. But that's okay. But yeah, check it out. This reactor is stable. It just holds at around 300 to 200 something heat units. I have not dialed in the dials to be either Celsius or Fahrenheit, so it's whatever it is on default. Alright, so the next thing to check... Oh, hang on. First... Oh, I forgot the... Okay. Alright. Nice little thing. Uh-huh. Or just as detailed as possible. I concur. I like building large constructs. That's one of the beefs I have with this game is how it doesn't like large constructs or highly complicated constructs. This ship kind of falls into the line of large and complicated. Because, I mean, ships aren't usually this big in the game. But the game is just so unhappy with how complicated it can be. Or how big. Just too much stuff. Alright, so I don't think these little floaties, these little tire bits are helping at all, so I don't think I need them. But everything else is fine. Oh, there was the tsunami wave. Look, there it goes. One thing that is a unfortunate reality with this ship is that its top speed maxes at about 12 meters a second to 13 meters a second. Yeah, I agree. But the game is pretty nice now. Like, I've been there since, oh, man, how long ago? Quite some time, like, before they even, they added any sort of DLC. Here, let me just alt-tab to Steam really quick and see my screenshot gallery. Because it's like an archive of how long I've been playing this. Show me. There. What is the oldest screenshot that I have? That one. 2022. So I'm gonna guess I've been playing since 2020. Still pretty far. Not bad. But it had some ups and downs. I still, passionately, by the way, I still dislike the modular engines. I still think they're terrible. I think they're terrible on certain circumstances. In some regards. Because they are finicky and hard to work with, in my opinion. And that half of it is how it is in the game, and the other half is user error, because I don't know how to work with them, and my systems are analog, not automated, so there's a lot of room for user error. But that's how it is. I am pleased with how these guns turn out. I'm pleased with how the turrets turned out. It's controllable. Fire the missile. Alright, just lock the turrets back in place. Yeah, I recommend just like I recommend popping back on the game, see what's new, what they changed. You know, the typical like check in and then check out. It's fun. I mean, there's still a lot of nothing to do in the game, but I mean, it's a sandbox as well. You have to kind of make your own entertainment, I guess, because the base game content is it can only take you so far. One thing I would like them to do is add more creatures. Also, hang on, I gotta check the shower. I've played survival with some friends before, and it's kind of fun. But the game is kind of when it if you have the weapon DLC activated while you're trying to do a survival vanilla run or a survival run without like using mods or whatever, it kind of gets kind of annoying. Because you know how it is where if you have the DLC stuff added, you know, you get these AI factions with their AI controlled ships and planes, and let's say you're trying to go and do a search and rescue thing to get some money, and then out of nowhere you're getting attacked by a jet or helicopter or even a boat. And money is finite in survival, and getting your boat sunk or heavily damaged kind of puts a damper on people's motivations to keep playing survival. Like I would recommend playing survival with some friends. It's fun because you know it's fun in the sense of, all right, we're playing a survival game. Let's make our own stuff and see how we can do. Like it's a kind of a build challenge. You got to build it vanilla, build it survival, and build with a limited budget. It's pretty nice. It's challenging, but it kind of gets unfun when the AI, the military AI, kind of intervene on that. You're worrying about enough stuff as it is already. Like if you get your stuff destroyed by NPCs, like, well, that's all that money gone. I don't know how the devs expect us to do this in survival at all. Which I'm pretty sure they don't. But like, my thing when it comes to the survival stuff is, it's fun if you're working with stuff that you've built yourself. Like you can have some fun with stuff off of the workshop, I guess, but it makes it more fun when you have to build your own constructs and work off the limited budget. But ultimately, the fun in this game is building stuff. And also kind of, you know, being part of the crew member of the ship and stuff, you know. I like looking at this ship. It's very nice. The propellers are on pivots, which gives it a very strong steering power. Three is to reverse. This ship, despite it being extremely heavy, is very stable in the water. I mean, I guess it's also because of its size. Like the ship is pretty big. It's a chonker. And it's pretty long as well. Longer ships are pretty stable and whatnot. But I like what they've done. This is a commercial fishing boat. Wink. And it gets a horn. We need to get to deeper waters. Oh, is the thing done? Oh, oops. Yes, I'm still listening to the soundtrack. Stop interrupting it, please. like analyzing how this thing functions and moves in the water. I don't know how its durability is in combat. I mean, when you're fishing and something comes up and attacks you, yeah, it's pretty nice. Though currently in the stream, I'm listening to the Barrel Trauma soundtrack because I really like that soundtrack, man. It's so good. Barrel Trauma is a fun game as well. I love building stuff in that game too. But I'm on Stormworks this time. One thing that I'm disappointed with that I couldn't achieve with this ship is abyssal fishing. Not being able to fish and catch abyssal creatures like gulper eels and anglerfish and stuff. They do spawn in this game, but they're pretty far down, and the large winches they don't have the range to get down there, sadly. But I think this ship is good enough for general fishing purposes and uses. You got 6 crab pots, each with 8 individual crab pots. So you got a total of 6 times 8 is 48 crab pots. Yes. So you got a total of 48 crab pots on this boat, each relegated to 6 of these pontoon systems, these rigs. And then you got this big old fishing net. I'm spacing out. Ah. Got a skylight. Also, you get a sonar. I had no idea how to read this thing. My dog's growling. He's barking and growling. Unlock the turret. The turrets traverse pretty slow, but that was intentional. I.e. How do you shoot? Okay. you're done, just turn that off and return the turret to default position. Also, you could go down and grab a torch, which I will do here in a second. Supply closet. I need to fix the barrel. Funny enough, this turret is an old design. That's like several years old now. And it's nice, it works. You have a little hatch that lets you get out. Now it's locked. And you can't accidentally unlock it either. And you got a little service light. You got 6 canisters for the main guns, the smaller guns. I'm doing a quick run through of checking out how functional these turrets are. Yeah, it doesn't like that when you go too far, but at least you have that little extra angle, firing angle. And the cool thing, if you like, so there's a magazine, I believe, of 5 shots that's auto-loaded. And if you need to reload, there's an internal magazine here. There's some extra rounds. But to reload the guns, you just aim the turret straight up. And it'll engage the feeders, and it'll reload the cannons. It's so nice. Now, so you got a little window and an additional magazine to replenish the internal magazine. And this magazine is connected to the outside of the ship to essentially let you allegedly be reloaded from outside and not having to go through corridors to fill the magazine. Now here we got an internal bay. A monster fish bay. This is for big fish. Wink. You can crawl in and do stuff. And these warheads are, by default, disarmed. They only arm after, like, I think 5 seconds once they are activated. And you got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. You got 10 rocket, 10 missiles. These are kind of funky. My testing, they kind of have a tendency to not work 90% of the time. But that 10%, they actually managed to work and actually hit a target. And funny enough, that target that it hit was its mothership. It was very silly. trying to hit a target ship at the creative base to see how well these missiles are performing. Missile 1 was fired and missed, but it was able to turn around. Funny enough, it managed to turn around, reacquire target lock, but it acquired a target lock on the mothership instead, this ship, and managed to successfully hit this ship without any sort of visible deviations. It flew in a straight line once it reacquired lock. And well, what do you know? It works. I mean, it missed the target and it hit a wrong target, but it hit a target nonetheless, which is better than it did before, and that was it just not working at all. So you know what? That warrants keeping these things on board and not gutting them or something different. Alright, so we're at 180 fathoms. I call it fathoms. I don't know the official measurements. Depth units. So here we will... Hang on. Is it going up or down? It's going up. Okay. So here, this will be an ideal opportunity to test the functionality of the crab pots. And also to show off the crab pot system as well. I love showing off my constructs, not gonna lie. It's the situation of like, if it's like a 5-year-old did a drawing and it's like trying to show their parents like, look what I did! But instead of it being a parental figure, it's strangers on the internet. Alright, so I'm actually really proud of these crab pot systems. So the way it works, I mean, you can see the logic nodes on it, but essentially, here, I'll just, what's it called? Demonstrate it. Oh, I need to put this back. There's a lot of running around on this boat. I knew I was forgetting something. You know what? Honestly, with the current state of the game, in terms of features and functionality, I think it's good enough. Or, I think it's good. Pretty good. This is just my opinion, just my 2 cents on the matter, but I think if the devs hunkered down, focused on performance and stability, especially when it comes to multiplayer, I think this game has the potential of being something pretty good. So, to use these crab pots, you untether it. I'm only gonna launch one because I don't have the patience to do the whole, like, assortment. Here, let me... Alright, so we're slowly going back up, so this will be a prime time. So essentially, to use it, to disengage the rail locks, you flip a switch, and it'll start to automatically extend the pontoon and bitch, and it'll just do its thing on its own. Unless it collides with the, that. I'll just push it through. There we go. Once it touches the water, it catches. But yeah, so it's in 3 parts: pontoon, mid base, and crab pots. There it goes, and you can kind of see as it goes down, kind of separates. It'll correct itself eventually. and the light turns on. And to get it to retract, all it needs is either this key to be flipped or something connected to the tippy top, which is these electric connectors, which is this thing. I'm very proud of the system. It actually works. And I'm like, oh, wow, it's amazing. I mean, it requires some manual attaching, but it's good. It's good. It's functioning. All right, so we're gonna sail a little bit off ways. Oh, that's already 6. Okay, I see the light barely. Don't mind the beeping in the background. Alright, so in order for us to find a crab pot, we activate this key switch. This thing will do its thing. You press the T to calculate it, and then it does its thing. It's gonna... zoom out, I guess. It's not grabbing it. Here, look, we're gonna watch and see if this thing will collide. Colliding yet. Aha, there it is. It has acquired a lock on the beacon. The crab pots each have a beacon. There we go. And we simply use this little screen to basically guide ourselves towards the crab pot. Follow the beacon. I think it has like a 1 to 2 kilometer maximum range, operational range, so you have to be pretty close to where you put it down, I guess. It's to help zero in on the specific location. This is why you use waypoints, I guess. Like how they do in real life. But this helps. This is a little quality of life. And I did not write these scripts, to be clear. That, this, and that. No. This is from the workshop because I lack the capacity to do that kind of thing. And look, you can see it in the distance. There it is. Oh, and it's not submerged, so that means it's going to make extraction easy. And she goes way, way down. It can reach up to almost, I believe, 200 something units down deep. Deep down. Alright, let's reduce it down to 30. This does kind of make reversing pretty easy. There we go. There. Now let's go operate one of these cranes. I believe it's on the side. There. Oh, whoa. Oh, it's a tsunami. Hooray. Just what I want. To be pushed away from the target that I'm trying to retrieve. Do you have any idea how far back you've set me? Let's bring it up. It's nice, tranquil music. There she comes, coming in to do the thing. It's around 190 to 180 is around the appropriate depth to drop these things. There we go, now we can just stop. There we go. Yeah, I gotta turn this off really quick. Oh, stop drifting away, stop. had the gears for these sliding rails set to 32 because 16 was just too weak. Yeah, screw it. I'm going out there and grabbing it and attaching it myself. Go, go, go. Come on now. There we go. She's connected. Lift the hatch. Slide it back. And we gotta go back up. And get ready for retraction. But yeah, it's pretty cool to watch this thing come up. It's very cool. You can retract the cable to bring it up a little bit faster. There it is. There's the crab pots. Oh, we got some stuff too. Look at that. Now, the funny thing is, the correct orientation for these crab pots is the hole on the bottom. But the problem with that is when you activate the release of the crabs, they release from the top of the crab pot, which makes it problematic for the system I had to do. So I had to put these things upside down for them to work. Look how cool that is. Yeah. Also, I don't know why they chose coconut crabs for deep sea, for deep water. Come on now, why, like, come on. The crane is stronger than this. Yeah, sure. It's so jank. There. Now that it's in the bay, what we can do now is go out there and empty them manually. Go in there, rotate these pots. Oh, we got some lobsters. Alright, so... Oh, it's on the other side. Just go to here and oh yeah, take that. Out manually. I guess some of these aren't functioning right. But you know what? With a project of this scale, there's going to be bound to be some bugs and problems. But there's that. Turn that off. And then we put it on the rails. Yeah, I need to adjust these cranes because this is ridiculous. Oi, 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 oi. It's so delayed and bouncy. This is bad. we just snap it to the system. Snap it to the rails. There we go. Retract the hatch. Almost. Let's retract a teensy bit more. Oh, perfect. Hang on, there's a up. And we seal the hatch. Good. Now we just anchor it down again. Let me guess. Are you still watching? Yes, I am. You know what? If there's damage, as long as it's structural, it doesn't matter. Damage is bad, but you know what? It's better than it. It's better for it to be structural damage than something important like, I don't know, the rail controls. The rail motors. Fuel line? There. Crane is stowed and is good. Track this crane. Set it to 20. And then before I end the stream, let's go repair that damage using the torch that we used. It all needs adjustments, but it's getting there. Now, I'm not happy with the delayed reactions of the crane and how bouncy it could be. It's unacceptable. Oh, come on. There we go. Oh, okay. This is good enough. We go. We are done with this. The test run is complete. Let me just go to the bridge really quick and I'll stop the stream here. Alright. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And we had a successful run. You guys have a good one.